There's been a little bit of confusion lately with the recent saw palmetto berry issues. There's been a lot on social media and across the state of Florida. And honestly, we just wanted to speak to you a little bit today about the saw palmetto berry, what it is, why it's an issue to trespass to harvest it. The saw palmetto berry itself is generally viewed as a native nuisance vegetation. So people generally cut it out or clear property. It's not looked at as something that's beneficial to anything in the state of Florida. However, it is very beneficial. Over the years, they have found scientific research for the palmetto berry itself and cancer, prostate issues in males, and it's used pharmaceutically to help stop or divert these problems. So another issue with the saw palmetto is it's also a state protected plant, which requires a permit to harvest the berries from the Florida Department of Agriculture. Unfortunately, even if you own the property where the saw palmettos are at, you still must are required to have this permit through the Florida Department of Agriculture to harvest these berries and sell them for profit. Another issue is that the gopher tortoise is a federally protected tortoise which loves to burrow or have nest underneath these saw palmetto bushes. So those are some of the issues that we've seen as far as the plant itself. Now we go into the area of trespassing on properties and having issues out in the rural parts of Indian River County where we've seen a lot of this happen. Most of the people who access this property illegally who do not have the permits through the Florida Department of Agriculture cut the fences, which cause obviously livestock issues. They get out into the roadways, which cause traffic hazards, and also cause a headache for the property owner who has to mend or patch the fence, retrieve their livestock, and put them back in. This also takes deputies away from the citizens to respond to calls for service where help may be really needed versus livestock being out on the road. Also, they leave a lot of debris behind in these rural areas, meaning garbage and paper, any type of food item. They generally don't clean up after themselves. Livestock generally sometimes get into this, and that becomes an issue. Some other issues we've seen are property owners in these rural areas don't like people on their property. So some of these property owners are taking it personally to take the law into their own hands to try to apprehend these people trespassing on their properties. This becomes an issue, and I think that could be obvious as to why. You have a person who's non-law enforcement certified attempting to stop another person trespassing on their property. I like to use the analogy of if the front door of your home was open, would I be allowed to walk in and take whatever I wanted? No. So trespassing a lot of times is confused in the state of Florida. Any property on the curtilage of a structure, fenced or posted, doesn't necessarily need to be both, agricultural properties, it's illegal without the owner's express written permission to be on said property. A lot of these larger ranch owners or rural property owners in Indian River County have found that the saw palmetto berry is quite a lucrative business. So they've hired contractors who've went through all the proper steps and got the proper permits and licensings to put together crews to harvest these palmetto berries. An average crew of 3 to 5 persons can harvest 100 pounds of berries per hour. Now, where that becomes important is the price of the saw palmetto berry starts anywhere from about $1 a pound up to $8 a pound. Since August 1st of 2021, we've made 26 arrests. We've seized in the neighborhood of 6,000 pounds of berries. 2,233 pounds were given back to the property owner. The rest have been donated to the nonprofit organizations. Of those 26 arrests, only 3 of which were legal United States citizens. The other 23 were not legally in the United States and were unable to have any other sanctions set against them through our partnership with United States Border Patrol. The saw palmetto berries, once the Sheriff's Office, if we confiscate the 1,895 pounds that we did confiscate on Monday, was actually taken and donated to Friends of St. Sebastian River. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It's part of the State Wildlife Preserve in Indian River County. They take the berries, they are given to the processing center up in Palm Bay. That money is then used for renovation or maintenance of that conservation area within Indian River County at no cost to the taxpayer. As for the state of Florida, last year, saw palmetto berries were responsible for $119 million worth of revenue in the state of Florida. This has been an issue brought up by the Florida Sheriff's Association and the FACIU, which is the Florida Agricultural Crime Investigation Unit. This is much bigger than Indian River County. People are getting injured, people are getting hurt, people are damaging natural resources within the state, and that's why we're out there to stop it. The Ag Marine deputies of the Interior County Sheriff's Office are here to protect the natural resources similar to that of fish and wildlife. We work hand in hand and very closely together to help protect these natural resources for every other citizen to enjoy and go out and just have a good time. That's some of the confusion, and I hope that clears up some of the misconceptions about saw palmetto berries. If it does not, and we can answer any questions, go through the web portal on ircsheriff.org and ask any general question that you may or may not have been answered through this media presentation. Thank you.